Hey there, I'm RadioJesus, and this is my first Doki Literature Club playthrough. If you enjoy, make sure to watch the other parts, and don't forget to check the description for links to my Twitter and Instagram, as well as my Twitch page. I stream a variety of games there often, including this raw and unedited playthrough. Enjoy. Alright. Doki, we finish it. Alright. Prepare yourselves. Of all days, I expected this to be the one where I'd be walking to school with Sayori. But Sayori isn't answering her phone. I considered going to her house to wake her up, but decided that's a little too much. Meanwhile, the preparations for the event should be nearly complete. The banner Yuri and I painted is dry, and I gently rolled it up to take it with me. She sent me a pleasant text reminding me not to forget anything, and I reassured her. Funnily enough, I probably feel the same way as Natsuki about the event. I'm more excited for it to be over so I can spend time with Sayori and Yuri at the festival. But knowing Monika, I'm sure the event will be great too.
Brent! You're the first one here. Thanks for being early.
That's funny. I thought at least Yuri would be here by now. Monika is placing little booklets in each of the desks in the classroom. They must be the ones she prepared that have all the little poems that we are performing. In the end, I found a random poem online that I thought Monika would like and submitted it, so that's the one I'll be performing.
I'm surprised you didn't bring Sayori with you.
Yeah, she overslept again. Oh, I gotta take the alert box off.
Good looking.
Hey.
Thank you for the follow, Sayori. The big Sayori. And YouTube, you guys got to see Bobby Hill once. There you go. Let's take it off on both. Hi, YouTube. Hi. Hi. Let me go scroll through, make sure they're off on all. They are? Okay. Yeah, she overslept again. That dummy. You'd think on days on days this important, she'd try a little harder. I say that, but suddenly I remember what Sayori told me yesterday, and suddenly I feel awful, knowing it's not nearly that simple for her. I only said it because it's the way I'm used to thinking. But maybe I should have gone to wake her up after all.
You should take a little responsibility for her, Brent. I mean, especially after your exchange with her yesterday. You kind of left her hanging this morning, you know?
Exchange? Monika, you know about that?
Of course I do. I'm the club president after all.
But... I stammer, embarrassed. Did Sayori really tell her about it that quickly? About how I basically turned down her confession? What? Might be. Hold on. We got something to add. We got something to add. Hold on. Sorry, YouTube. There. Just like the other ones. About how I basically turned down her confession? That makes me really seem like the bad guy here. But I'm the one who knows what's best for her, right? Jeez. You don't know the full story, though, so...
Don't worry. I probably know a lot more than you think.
Eh? Oh, the game froze? Okay. Thank you. Let's, reset that. There we go. Monika is being friendly as usual, but for some reason I felt a chill down my spine after hearing that.
Hey, do you want to check out the pamphlets? They came out really nice.
Yeah, sure. I grabbed one of the pamphlets laid out on the desk. Oh yeah, they really did. Something like this will definitely help people take the club more seriously.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I flipped through the pages. Each member's poem is neatly printed on its own page, giving it an almost professional feel. I recognized Natsuki and Yuri's poems from the ones they performed during our practice. What's this? I flipped to Sayori's poem. It's different from the one that she practiced. It's one that I haven't read before. Get out of my head, 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 get out of, get out of my head. Ah, what is this? Reading the poem, I get a pit in my stomach.
Print? What's wrong?
Nothing. This poem feels completely different from everything else Sayori's written. But more than that, I changed my mind. I'm gonna go get Sayori, so...
Well, all right. Try not to take too long, okay?
I quickly leave the classroom.
Don't strain yourself.
Monica calls that out after me. I quicken my pace. What was I thinking? I should have tried a little bit harder for Sayori. It's not a big deal to at least wait for her, or to help her wake up. Even the simple gesture of walking her to school makes her really happy. Besides, I told her yesterday that things will be the same as they always have been. That's all she needs, and what I want to give to her. I reach Sayori's house and knock on the door. I don't expect an answer, since she's not picking up her phone, either. Like yesterday, I open the door and let myself in. Sayori? She really is a heavy sleeper. I swallow. I can't believe I ended up doing this after all. Waking her up in her own house. Isn't that more like something a boyfriend would do? In any case, it just feels right. Outside of Sayori's room, I knock on her door. Sayori? Wake up, dummy. There's no response. I really didn't want to have to enter her room like this. Isn't it kind of a breach of privacy? But she really leaves me no choice. I gently open the door. Say ya. An exception has occurred. Uh-oh. Should I reinstall Windows? What the hell? What the hell? Is this a nightmare? She's not Lester. It has to be. This isn't real. There's no way this can be real. Sayori wouldn't do this. Everything was normal up until a few days ago. That's why I can't believe what my eyes are showing me. I suppressed the urge to vomit. Just yesterday, I told Sayori I would be there for her. I told her I know what's best and that everything will be okay. Then why? Why would she do this? How could I be so helpless? What did I do wrong? Turning down her confession? That has to have been what pushed her over the edge. Her agonized scream still echoes in my ears. Why did I do that to her when she needed me the most? Why was I so selfish? This is my fault. My swarming thoughts keep telling me everything I could have done to prevent this. If I just spent more time with her, walked her to school, and gave her what I know she wanted out of a relationship, then I could have prevented this. I know I could have prevented this. Screw the literature club. Screw the festival. I just lost my best friend. Someone I grew up with. She's gone forever. Nothing I can do to bring her back. This isn't some game where I can reset and try something different. I only had one chance, and I wasn't careful enough. And now I'll carry this guilt with me until I die. Nothing in my life is worth more than hers. But I still couldn't do what she needed from me. And now, I can never take it back. Never. 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 So we're keeping in mind here, as Bear told me, the game's not over until you see the credits. So, yeah, this is all fucked up here. And, yeah, that's a tough one there. So, I mean, I do need a little guidance as to what I'm exactly supposed to do here. Am I clicking on the weird shit? Either do what Ninja says or play the game. Ninja, what do you want me to do? Check on the game files? You talking about my saved games? Oh shit, I clicked the damn thing. Well, I'm playing the game. I see an annoying girl running towards me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is and my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but started around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let a whisker catch up to me. What? It's an ordinary school day like any other. Mornings are usually the worst, being surrounded by couples and friend groups walking to school together. Meanwhile, I've always walked to school alone. I always tell myself about the time I meet some girls or something like that, but I have no motivation to join any clubs. I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. There's always the anime club, but it's not like there would be any girls in it anyway. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Thank you, Zenith. Thank you. Duffy, did you post a spoiler? You know better, Duffy. Thank you, Zenith. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. There really aren't any that interest me. Besides, most of them would probably be way too demanding for me to want to deal with. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Brent? Let's get it. Monica?
Oh my goodness, I totally didn't expect to see you here. It's been a while, right?
Yeah, it has. Monica smiles sweetly. Spoiler packers. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me genuinely feels a little... What did you come in here for anyway?
I've just been looking for some supplies to use for my club. Do you know if there's any construction paper in here? Or markers?
I guess you could check the closet. You're in the debate club, right?
About that. I actually quit the debate club.
Really? You quit?
Yeah. To be honest, I can't stand all of the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and public publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. In that case, what club did you decide?
Woo! Sat on a thumbtack. In that case, what club did you decide to join?
Actually, I'm starting a new one. A literature club.
Literature. That sounds kind of dull. How many members do you have so far?
It's kind of embarrassing, but there are only 3 of us so far. It's really hard to find new members for something that sounds so boring.
Well, I can see that.
But it's really not boring at all, you know? Literature club can be anything. Reading, writing, poetry. I mean, one of my members even keeps her manga collection in the club room.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's funny, right? She always insists that manga is literature, too. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. And besides, a member's a member, right?
Did Monica say she?
Hey, Brent. By any chance, are you still looking for a club to join?
I mean, I guess, but...
In that case, is there any chance you could do me a big favor? I won't ask you to join, but if you could at the very least visit my club, it would make me really happy. Please?
I guess I have no reason to refuse. Besides, how could I ever refuse someone like Monica? Sure, I guess I could check it out.
Awesome. You're really sweet, Brent. You know that?
It's nothing, really.
Shall we go then? I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important.
I guarantee, by the way, that Duffy is texting Ninja right now, saying, please untime me out. I think Duffy's learned his lesson. We can untime him. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul to Monica and her irresistible smile. I timidly follow Monica across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Monica, full of energy, swings open the classroom door.
I'm back. And I brought a guest with me.
Eh? A guest?
Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Don't be mean, Natsuki. But anyway, welcome to the club, Brent.
All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls.
So let me guess. You're Monica's boyfriend, right?
What? No, I'm not. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is the one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year, but 18 years old.
Anyway, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual. And this is Yuri, the vice president.
It's nice to meet you. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Natsuki. Yeah, it's nice to meet both of you.
So I ran into Brent into a classroom, and he decided to come check out the club. Isn't that great? Wait, Monica, didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought anyone new? I was going to, well, you know. Sorry. I didn't forget that, but I just happened to run into him.
In that case, I should at least make some tea, right?
Yeah, that would be great. Why don't you come sit down, Brent?
The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Yuri walks into the corner of the room and opens the closet. Meanwhile, Monica and Natsuki sit across from each other. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Monica.
So I know you didn't really plan on coming here, but we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it is my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone.
I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club.
You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events, like the festival, that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, Natsuki? Well, I guess.
Natsuki reluctantly agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these two. Yuri returns to the table, carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot in the middle. You keep a whole tea set in the classroom?
Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission.
After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess.
Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you.
Huh? That's not...
Insulted, Yuri looks away.
I meant that, you know.
I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea.
I'm glad.
Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief.
So, Brent, what kind of things do you like to read?
Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga, I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet.
Not much of a reader, I guess.
Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri?
Well, let's see.
Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger.
My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me, and telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive.
Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people.
But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately.
Ah, I read a horror book once. I desperately grasp something I can relate to at a minimum level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock.
I expect that from you, Yuri. It suits your personality.
Oh, is that so? Really, if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment.
Ugh, I hate horror.
Oh, why's that?
Well,
Natsuki's eyes dart over me for a split second.
Never mind.
That's right. You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud. And give that back. Fine.
Natsuki, you write your own poems?
Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care?
I just think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime?
No.
Natsuki averts her eyes.
You wouldn't like them.
Not very confident writer yet.
I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart.
Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, we can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers.
I guess it's the same for Yuri then. We all sit in silence for a moment.
Hey, I just got an idea. How about this?
Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica.
Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. I thought it was a good idea.
Well, I think you're right, Monica. We should probably start finding activities for all of us to participate in together. I did decide to take on the responsibility of vice president after all. I need to do my best to nurture the club as well as its members. Besides, now that we have a new member, it seems like a good step for us to take. Do you agree as well, Brent?
Hold on, there's still one problem.
Eh? What's that?
Now that we've reached the most important topic, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Monica may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought. All three girls stare back at me with dejected eyes.
I'm sorry, I thought...
The girls exchange glances before Monica turns back to me.
I guess I need to tell you the truth, Brent. The thing is, we don't have enough members yet to form an official club. We need 4. And I've been trying really, really hard to find new members. And if we don't find one more before the festival...
I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? I would feel terrible for letting everyone down in this situation. And besides, the club itself seems pretty relaxed. So if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls... Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up.
Oh my goodness, really? Do you really mean that, Brent?
Yeah, it could be fun, right?
You really did scare me for a moment.
I mean, if you really just left after all this, I would be super pissed. Brent, I'm so happy. We can become an official club now. Thank you so much for this. You're really amazing. I'll do everything I can to give you a great time, okay?
Thanks, I guess.
Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share.
Monica looks over at me once more.
Brent, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself.
Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri cleans up the tea set. I guess I'll be on my way then.
Okay. I'll see you tomorrow then. I can't wait.
With that, I depart the club room and make my way home. The whole way my mind wanders back and forth between the 3 girls. Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer. Whoops. One of these girls. All right. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem for tonight. I have unlocked a special poem. I guess I would like to read it. Okay, I'm gonna get hard fucking trolled here. Oh, I wasn't. Just said I love you. That was Pog. Sweet. There's only 2 girls here instead of 3. Should we fuck around and like target the other girl now, Natsuki, instead of Yuri? Fuck it. Okay. All right, so she likes lazy, dance, kawaii, whirlwind, cute, papa. Daydream. Anime. Shiny. Sugar. Sparkle. Strawberry. Bunny. Skirt. Fluffy. Summer. Lipstick. Rose. Electricity. Vibrant. Pretty much the opposite of what we did last time.
Hi again, Brent. Glad to see you didn't run away on us.
Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out.
Thanks for keeping your promise, Brent. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it.
Oh, come on. Like he deserves any slack? You already had to be dragged here by Monica. I don't know if you just plan to come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it.
Monica, you're in my fucking way. Natsuki finds her way stuck between saying Monica and manga.
Manga is literature.
Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat.
I'm sorry, Brent. We'll make sure to put your comfort first, okay?
Yuri shoots Natsuki with a disappointed glance.
Anyway, now that you're in the club and all, perhaps you'll have an interest in picking up a book to read.
Well, I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in this club now. So it only feels right for me to do something like that, if you ask.
Wait, I didn't mean it like that. If you don't really want to, then forget I said anything, I guess.
Ah, no, it's not that, Yuri. I want to try to be a part of this club. So even if I don't read often, I'd be happy to pick up a book if you wanted me to.
Are you sure? I just felt like, well, as vice president and all, that should really help you get started on something you might like.
Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book.
I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read, and we could, discuss it if you wanted.
How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book.
Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think.
Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. Ah! I hear Natsuki's utter an exasperated sigh from within the closet. She seems to be annoyed by something. I approach her in case she needs a hand. You looking for something in there? Fucking Monica!
She never puts my stuff back in the right spot. What's the point in keeping your collection organized if someone else is just going to mess it up?
Natsuki slides a bunch of stacked books and boxes across the shelf. Manga?
You read manga, right?
Sometimes. Manga is one of those things where you can't really admit that you're into it until you figure out where the other person stands. How did you know, anyway?
I heard you bring it up at some point. Besides, it's kind of written on your face.
What's that supposed to mean? I see. There's a lone volume of manga amidst a stack of various books on the side of one of the shelves. Curious, I pull it out of the stack.
There it is.
Natsuki snatches it out of my hand. She then turns to a box of manga and slips the volume right into the middle of the rest.
Ah, much better. Seeing a box set with one book missing is probably the most irritating sight in the world.
I know that feel. I get a closer look at the box set she's admiring. Parfait Girls? It's a series I've never heard of in my life. That probably means it's either way out of my demographic, or it's simply terrible.
If you're going to judge, you can do it through the glass on that door.
She points to the classroom door. Hey, I wasn't judging anything. I didn't even say anything.
It was the tone of your voice. But I'll tell you one thing, Brent. Consider this a lesson straight from the literature club. Don't judge a book.
In fact, Natsuki pulls out the first volume of Parfait Girls from the box.
I'm going to show you exactly why.
She shoves the book right into my hands. I stare at the cover. It features 4 girls in colorful attire, striking animated feminine poses. It's exceedingly mo.
Don't just stand there.
What? Natsuki grabs my arm and pulls me out of the closet. She then takes a seat against the wall beneath the windowsills. She pats on the ground next to her, signaling me to sit there. Wouldn't chairs be more comfortable? I take my seat.
Chairs wouldn't work. We can't read at the same time like that.
Eh? Why's that? I guess it's easier to be closer together like this.
Don't just say that. You'll make me feel weird about it.
Natsuki crosses her arms and scooches an inch away from me. Sorry. I didn't exactly expect to be sitting this close to her either. Not that I can say it's a particularly bad thing. I open the book. It's only a few seconds before Natsuki once again inches closer, reclaiming the additional space while she hopes I won't notice. I can feel her peering over my shoulder, much more eager to begin reading than I am.
Wow, how long has it been since I read the beginning?
You don't go back and flip through the older volumes every now and then?
Not really. Maybe sometimes after I've already finished the series. Hey, are you paying attention?
I am, but nothing's really happened yet, so I can talk at the same time. It looks like it's about a bunch of friends in high school. A typical slice of life affair. I kind of grew out of these since it's rare for the writing to be entertaining enough to make up for the lack of the plot. Are you sure this isn't boring for you?
It's not.
Even though you're just watching me read?
Well, I'm fine with that.
If you say so. I guess it's fun sharing something you like with someone else. I always get excited when I convince any of my friends to pick up a series I enjoy. You know what I mean? You don't?
That's not... Well, I wouldn't really know.
What do you mean? Don't you share your manga with your friends?
Could you not rub it in? Jeez.
Sorry.
Like, I could ever get my friends to read this. They just think manga is for kids. I can't even bring it up without them being all like, you still haven't grown out of that yet? Makes me want to punch them in the face.
I do know those kind of people. Honestly, it takes a lot of effort to find friends who don't judge, and much less friends who are also into it. I'm already kind of a loser, so I guess I gravitated towards the other losers over time. But it's probably harder for someone like you.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Wait, which part?
I mean, I feel like I can't even keep it in my own room. My dad would beat the shit out of me if he found this. At least it's safe here in the club room. Except Monica's kind of a jerk about it. Ugh, I just can't win, can I?
Well, it paid off in the end, didn't it? I mean, here I am, reading it.
Well, it's not like that solves any of my problems.
Maybe, but at least you're enjoying yourself, right?
So? Geez, that's enough. Are you going to keep reading or what?
Yeah. I flipped the page. Hey, we reading. Time passes. Natsuki is strangely quiet now. I glance over at her. It looks like she started to fall asleep. Hey, Natsuki.
Yeah?
Suddenly, Natsuki collapses straight into me. Hey!
Oh, geez. Natsuki, are you okay? Here.
Monica reaches into her bag and pulls out some kind of protein bar. She throws it in Natsuki's direction. Natsuki's eyes suddenly light up again. She snatches the bar from the floor and immediately tears off the wrapper.
I told you not to give...
She doesn't even finish her sentence before stuffing it into her mouth.
Don't worry, Brent. She's fine. It just happens every now and then. That's why I always keep a snack in my bag for her. Anyway, why don't we all share poems now?
Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion, to be fair. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading.
Oh, sorry. I forgot to start speaking.
It's fine, don't force yourself.
I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. This is your first time writing a poem, right?
Yeah. Why do you ask?
I'm just making sure. I guess that it might be after reading through it.
Ah, so it's that bad.
No. Did I just raise my voice? I'm so sorry.
Yuri buries her face in her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we haven't really gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine, I really didn't notice. What were you saying?
Right, it's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I learned to kind of pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick up a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened.
Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone and she sounds like an expert.
Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased, though.
Biased? How?
Well... never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry.
It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now?
Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it.
Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one, the last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time, the last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. I knew you guys were going to say the flickins. Breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicken back. There.
I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting.
What? I wasn't thinking that at all.
But it took you a long time to read.
Ah. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty.
Eh? That's a relief.
Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive.
It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems.
Not at all.
I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose.
Are you into ghosts, Yuri?
Huh? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Brent.
Really? I must have totally missed the point.
Well, I suppose you did have only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing.
That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive.
It's nothing, really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things, too.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying.
I'm counting on you.
Hi, Brent. Having a good time so far?
Yeah.
Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring these things up, okay?
All right, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in.
Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of
embarrassing, but I guess I'll have to.
Don't worry, Britt. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we're going to learn to get past soon.
Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem.
Mm-hmm. I like it, Brent.
Really?
It's a lot cuter than I expected.
Oh, geez.
No. It kind of makes me think of something that Suki would write. And she's a good writer, too. So take that as a compliment.
If you say so.
Yep. If you're interested in Natsuki, then always keep a snack on you. She'll cling to you like a puppy. Natsuki's dad doesn't give her lunch money or leave her any food in the house, so she's in a fussy mood pretty often. But sometimes she just loses all of her strength and shuts down. Like earlier. This is just a guess, but I think she's so small because her malnutrition is interfering with her adolescent growth. But hey, some guys are into petite girls too, you know?
Monica, I'm gonna keep it a $1.50 with you right now. I'm keeping a bean with you, Monica. I do not think that the romantic prospects of a malnourished girl whose father appears to beat her over her reading choices is the primary concern at the moment here, Monica. I'm just keeping it a bean with you. You know, locking it in.
Sorry, just trying to look at the bright side. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good.
You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good.
Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know?
I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall, but he wasn't looking at me. Confused, I frantically glanced at my surroundings, but my burned eyes can no longer see color. Are there others in this room? Are they talking? Or are they simply poems on flat sheets of paper? The sound of frantic scrawling playing tricks on my ears. The room begins to crinkle, closing in on me. The air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. It's right there. Swallowing my fears, I brandish my pen.
So what did you think?
It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback.
It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful.
What was the inspiration behind this one?
Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say I had some kind of deep epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit.
An epiphany?
Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening.
To Natsuki we go.
Okay, well, let's start with the things I don't like. First of all,
Natsuki rereads my poem.
never mind. I don't feel like giving you my opinion.
Then what's the point of sharing in the first place? I wrote this when I could have been doing other things. In fact, remember how I said I wanted to read your poems? That's what I had in mind when writing this. I want to help you feel comfortable enough to share yours. Like Monica said.
Well, I would be more comfortable sharing my poem if yours was really bad. You were supposed to show me some dumb poem and make me go, well, it's not that great, but let me show you what real literature looks like. And you went and ruined it. I hope you're happy.
So in other words, you're saying you liked it. Natsuki's retort gets caught in her throat.
You don't understand anything, do you? I already told you that. Like, you don't have to go announcing it to the world like you're all self-important.
Pretty sure you never actually said that. I say that mostly to myself. Natsuki must really hate me or something. I can't figure out if it's a win or a loss that she liked my poem. In any case, you still need to show me yours, right?
Fine, I guess. Only because Monica will make me if I don't.
Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, and horses can race. Owls can seek, cheetahs can run. Eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it.
Yeah, I told you weren't gonna like it.
I like it.
What? Just be honest.
I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it?
Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't even take my writing seriously.
Oh, that was when I glanced at chat. That moment was the time to glance at chat. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid.
Yes, exactly. I like it when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it.
Yeah, I understand.
But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like, I set it up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feelings in, like last time.
So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized.
That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from one of the youngest ones here, did you?
Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, 18 or older, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my own mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club, after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Also, I'm going to throw it out here in case nobody noticed it. Every so often, the music is off-key. Just in case, I'm sure most of you could notice it because you all have ears, but it's off-key here and there. Across the room, Monica is writing something in her notebook. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. I just wanted to say that in case nobody was catching on to that. As they read in tandem, I watch each other and their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly.
What's with this language?
Eh? Did you say something?
Oh, it's nothing.
Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand.
I guess you could say it's fancy.
Thanks. Yours is cute.
Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute?
I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice.
Eh? You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it didn't really come out nice at all.
Well, I do have a couple suggestions.
If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Monica liked it, and Brent did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all,
Excuse me? I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a lot of time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Brent liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it.
Natsuki suddenly stands up.
oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri.
Eh? That's not what You're just...
Yuri stands up as well.
Maybe you're just jealous that Brent appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours.
Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? And that you're so full of yourself?
No. If I was full of myself, I wouldn't deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy.
Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Brent started showing up.
Natsuki.
Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you.
Taking out your own insecurities on others like that. You really act as young as you look, Natsuki.
Me? Look who's talking, you wanna-be edgy bitch.
Gee? Sorry that my lifestyle is too much for someone of your mental age to comprehend.
See?
Just saying.
Just saying that proves my point. Most people think to get over themselves after they graduate middle school, you know?
If you want to prove anything, then stop harassing others with your sickening attitude. You think you can counterbalance your toxic personality by dressing and acting cute? The only cute thing about you is how hard you try.
Whoa, be careful, you might cut yourself on that edge, Yuri.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, my bad. You already do, don't you?
Did you just accuse me of cutting myself? What the fuck is wrong with your head?
Yeah, go on. Let Brent hear everything you really think. I'm sure he'll be head over heels for you after this.
Huh?
Suddenly, Yuri turns towards me as if she was noticed I was standing there.
Brent, she's just trying to make me look bad.
That's not true. She started it.
It's to whomever I agree to, of course. We're choosing Natsuki this time. Okay. All right, fam. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yep. Okay. Hello. What's cooking?
Hey, Brent. Why don't we step outside for a little bit, okay? Sorry about that. They really shouldn't have tried to get you involved. It's probably better for us to stay out of this. We'll go back inside once they're done yelling. Some president I am, right? I can't even confront my own club members properly. I just wish I was able to be a little more assertive sometimes. But I've never had it in me to put my foot down against others. You understand, right? Anyway, if this makes me want to spend less time with the others, then that's fine. I'd be happy to spend time with you instead.
Suddenly, Natsuki runs out of the classroom. She quickly runs away.
Oh dear. Well, looks like they're done.
I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it.
Yuri is rocking back and forth in her desk with her palms on her forehead. Yuri?
I didn't mean it.
I believe you. I have no idea what Yuri might have said to Natsuki, or did.
Brent, please don't hate me. Please. I'm not like this. There's something wrong with me today.
It's fine, Yuri. We know you didn't mean it. Besides, I'm sure Natsuki will forget all about it by tomorrow. Completely. Anyway, the meeting is over. You can go home now if you want.
Yuri looks at me like she wants me to say something, but she keeps glancing at Monica. You can go first, Monica. I'd like to stay a little bit longer.
I'm the president, so I should be the last one out. I'll wait for you to be done.
Well, I'm vice president, so please let me take that responsibility today.
It kind of sounds like you don't want me around for something, Yuri.
It's not that. It's not that. I just didn't get much of a chance to discuss my book with Brent. It would just be embarrassing with you listening.
I guess I don't really have a choice, do I?
I'm sorry for causing trouble, but I really appreciate you understanding.
Yep, that's, right. Anime. Shiny. Pure. Beauty. This. Mouse. Rainbow. Everything seems fine, Chad. I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't worry about them or anything. I think they're just kind of vibing, you know what I mean? Pink. Adventure. Papa. Bubbles. Bear's right, I am just picking ninja words. Melody. Addendum. Hitty. Chocolate. Lollipop. Strawberry. Nibble. Marshmallow. Another day passes, and it's time for the club meeting already. I've gotten a little more comfortable here over the past couple of days. Entering the club room, the usual scene greets me, as Yuri teleports across the room, and one tit is on the one side of the room, while the other is on the other.
Welcome back, Brent.
Hi, Yuri. I'm not sure if it's me or it's Yuri's expression, but her right boob is hanging out and nothing else. But the weight of my eye of yesterday's quarrel still hangs in the air a little. Yuri glances over her shoulder, looking around the room. Natsuki is reading manga at a desk, and surprisingly, Monika isn't here yet. Suddenly, Yuri takes my arm and pulls me into a corner of the room.
About yesterday, I really need to apologize. Nothing like that has ever happened before, and something just came over me, I guess. I wasn't acting mentally sound. Please don't think we're usually like this. Not just me, but Natsuki as well.
Yuri. I'm happy that you were considerate and apologized. You don't have to worry too much. Even though I've only been here a couple of days, I could tell something was off yesterday. Maybe we were just a little extra sensitive because it was our first time sharing poems. But whatever it was, it didn't make me think any less of you. I had already decided that there's no way you can be a bad person. And now that you're apologizing, I know you really didn't mean it.
Brent, don't say those kind of things so frankly. They make me a little too happy. I'm really glad that you're such an understanding person, and I'm really glad that you joined this club. Everything is a little bit brighter with you around, and, sorry, what am I saying right now?
Hey, have you guys seen Monika?
No, I haven't. I was also kind of wondering where she was.
Man, Yuri, I'm guessing you haven't either.
Yuri is clearly taken aback by how calmly Natsuki is addressing her.
No, I haven't.
Geez, this isn't like her at all. I know it's stupid, but I can't help but worry a little bit. What? Why are you looking at me like that?
Natsuki, about yesterday, I just wanted to apologize. I promise I didn't mean any of the things that I said. And I'll do my best to stay under control from now on, so...
Yuri, what the heck are you talking about? Did you do something yesterday?
Eh?
Jeez.
Whatever's on your mind, I'm sure it was nothing. I don't even remember anything bad happening. You're the kind of person who worries a little too much about little things, aren't you? That's Natsuki's dad coming through or something. I don't know what the fuck that was.
But I'll accept your apology anyway if it helps you feel a little bit better about it. Besides, it's kind of nice to hear since I was always afraid you secretly hated me or something like that.
No, not at all. I don't hate you. Well,
You're kind of weird, but I don't hate you either.
Natsuki turns to me.
You're still on trial, though.
Hey. Suddenly, the door swings open.
Sorry. I'm super sorry.
There you are.
I didn't mean to be late. I hope you guys weren't worried or anything.
Nah. Well, Natsuki was.
I was not. What took you so long anyway? Well, my last period today was study hall. To be honest, I kind of just lost track of time. That makes no sense, though. You wouldn't have heard the bell ring, at least. I must not have heard it since I was practicing piano.
Piano? I wasn't aware you played music as well, Monica.
Don't give me more credit than I deserve. I guess I've been practicing for a while, but I'm still not really good yet.
Still, that must require a lot of dedication. So I'm still impressed.
Well, thanks, Yuri. You should play something for us sometime. That's...
Monica looks at me.
Well, I am working on writing a song, but it's not quite done yet. Maybe once I get a little bit better, I will.
That sounds cool. I look forward to it.
Is that so? In that case, I won't let you down, Brent.
Monica smiles sweetly. I didn't mean any pressure or anything like that.
Don't worry. I was hoping that I could share it with you anyway. I guess that's why I've been practicing so much recently.
I see. I'm not sure if Monica was referring to the whole club or just me. In that case, best of luck.
Thanks. So I didn't miss anything, did I?
No, not really. I chose not to bring up anything that the three of us talked about. Besides, Natsuki has already run off into the closet.
Brent, since your compliments put me in a good mood, I was wondering if you'd like to spend some time together today. I mean, in the club.
Suppose so. I don't think I could say no to you after the book you gave me. Well, I guess I need to make sure Natsuki isn't waiting for me. After we finished reading yesterday,
She's fine. She's reading over there, see?
Don't think about her so much. She's used to being ignored. Come on. We're going over there. What's the story about, anyway?
Well,
I look at the cover of the book. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover.
basically it's about this religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison, and the people trapped there have this trait that turns them into killing machines that lust for blood. But the facility gets even worse, and they start selectively breeding them by cutting off their limbs and affixing them to... that might be a little bit of a spoiler. But anyway, I'm really into it. The book, I mean. Not the thing about the limbs.
That's kinda dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like we're gonna be a nice story, and that dark turn came from nowhere. Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere.
Read the command. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Brent?
No, it's not that. I mean, I could definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry.
I hope so.
Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different.
It's just that this kind of story is the kind that challenges you to look at life from a strange new perspective, when horrible things happen not just because someone wants to be evil,
but because the world is full of horrible people, and we're all worthless anyway. Then suddenly...
I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry.
Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything.
Well, I guess it's alright then, but I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts,
my whole body goes no.
I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much.
Okay. I see what you're talking about here, yeah. That wasn't the poster on the wall when we were back there in the corner.
I really don't think you need to worry.
That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club, after all.
That's true.
In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right?
Yes. I mean, you don't have to, but
What are you saying? Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's.
ah, yeah.
Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive.
I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is reading in company with someone.
I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything.
All right.
I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing, maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead.
Sorry.
I was just bathing in the feeling of your body and I think that's what I read. Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you?
I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean...
Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk up until it's against Yuri's, and then hold my book more between the two of them.
I suppose so.
Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page.
Here. Yuri takes her left arm and...
Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm and on the right side of the book. That way I turn a page, and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to the side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision.
Are you ready?
Huh?
To turn the page?
Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her.
That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do. Since you've been so patient with me.
Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she's finished the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit.
Eh? No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not.
Really? I was just thinking the way she second guesses things she says and all that.
That's what you were thinking about. Sorry. I thought you meant something else about her.
Something else?
Never mind. We didn't even get that far yet. So I don't know why that came into my head.
Yuri, are you feeling alright? Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing's a little...
Breathing?
Yuri puts her hands on her chest as if to feel her heartbeat.
I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water.
Alright, don't push yourself. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about?
Brent, did something happen just now?
I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess.
So you don't know anything?
Sorry, I can't say that I do. Are you worried about her?
Oh, no, not really. I was just making sure you didn't do anything to her.
No, nothing.
Don't worry, I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes, so it's nothing alarming.
All right, if you say so.
Anyway, why don't we start sharing our poems with each other?
Huh? Shouldn't we wait for Yuri?
Well, she might be a while, so I just figured we'd get started without her. Is that okay?
Yeah, I was just asking. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book and slip it back into my bag. Water.
Hi again, Brent. How's the writing going?
All right, I guess.
I'll take that. As long as it's not going bad. I'm happy that you're applying yourself. Maybe soon you'll come up with a masterpiece.
I wouldn't count on that.
You never know. Want to share what you wrote for me today?
Sure, here you go. I give my poem to Monica.
All right. Great job, Brent. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you.
It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort.
That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know what Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism? Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is just totally detached from reality. I don't mean that like it's a bad thing, though. But sometimes I get the impression that she's totally given up on people. She spends so much time in her own head, it's probably a much more interesting place for her. But that's why she gets so happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she's used to being indulged like that. She must be really starved for social interaction, so I don't blame her for coming on a little strongly. Like earlier, I think if she gets too stimulated, she ends up withdrawing and looking for alone time.
Suddenly, the door opens.
Yuri!
I'm back. Did I miss anything? Not really.
Not really. Well, we all started sharing our poems with each other.
Huh? Already? I'm sorry for being late.
No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time, so I'm glad that you took all the time you needed.
All right. Thanks, Monica. I suppose I should get my poem now.
But anyway, you want me to read my poem now? I like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too.
Save me. The colors, they won't. Bright. Beautiful chairs? Flashing, expanding, piercing, red, green, blue, an endless cacophony of meaningless noise. The noise, it won't stop. Violent grating of my balls, squeaking, screeching, piercing, sine, cosine, tangent, like playing a chalkboard on a turntable, like playing a knife on a breathing rib cage, endless pain of meaningless balls. Balls. Delete her. What are you? What the fuck? What? No.
Sorry, I know it's kind of abstract. I'm just trying to, well, never mind. There's no point in explaining. Anyway.
What the fuck? What are you spamming delete at me for?
Here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes you'll find yourself facing a difficult decision. When that happens, don't forget to save your game. You never know when, who am I talking to? Can you hear me? Tell me you can hear me. Anything. Please help me. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening.
Please fucking help me, huh? Alright. Let's go to Yuri next.
I've been waiting for this. Let's see what you've got written for me today.
Yuri smiles and takes a deep breath.
I just like holding it. I mean, the poem turned out good. It's, well, there are some things you could work on, but that doesn't really matter. It feels like anything written by you is a treasure. That came out a little awkward. Let's move on. Here's the poem I wrote. You don't have to like it or anything.
Wheel. A rotating wheel, turning an axle, grinding, bolt head, linear gearbox, falling sky, 7 holy stakes, a docked ship, a portal to another world, a thin rope tied to a thick rope, a torn harness, parabolic gearbox, expanding universe, time controlled by slipping cogwheels, existence of God, swimming with open water in all directions, drowning, a prayer written in blood, a prayer written in time-devouring snakes with human eyes, a thread connecting all living human eyes, a kaleidoscope of holy stakes, exponential gearbox, a sky of exploding stars, God disproving the existence of God, a wheel rotating in 6 dimensions, 40 gears and a ticking clock, a clock that ticks 1 second for every rotation of the planet, a clock that ticks 40 times every time it ticks, every second time, a bolt head of holy stakes tied to the existence of docked, shipped to another world, a kaleidoscope of blood written in clocks, a time-devouring prayer connecting a sky of 40 gears and open human eyes in all directions, breathing gearbox, breathing bolt head, breathing ship, breathing portal, breathing snakes, breathing God, breathing blood, breathing holy stakes, breathing human eyes, breathing time, breathing prayer, breathing sky, breathing wheel. Okay.
It doesn't really matter what it's about. My mind has been a little hyperactive lately, so I had to take it out on your pen. That's a pin fell out of your backpack yesterday, so I took it home for safekeeping, and I just really like the way that it writes. So I wrote this poem with it, and now you're touching it, and I'm okay. What did I just... Can we pretend this conversation never happened? You can keep the poem, though.
This version of Yuri is on some Lorena Bobbitt shit here.
Well, it's not terrible, but it's pretty disappointing after your last one. Then again, if this one was as good as your last one, I would be completely pissed. Well, I guess I wanted to try something a little different.
Well, I guess I wanted to try something a little different this time.
Fair enough. You're still new to this, so I wouldn't expect you to find your style right away. I mean, everyone in the club writes really differently from one another. Maybe you'll find a little influence from all of us. For instance, I noticed that you were spending time with some Yuri today. Not that I care who you spend your time with. After all, I was taught never expecting anything from anybody. So, it's not like I was waiting for you or anything. Still, you should at least look over my poem. You'll probably be able to learn something from it.
Bible, Robin, number the 24, Gib 2Y, Gib XK, this give the good big B2 IGN.com/gaming, VDB, Uncle Bobby, just the Zigga the big tudel subit the Vixta but Nissan Ultima but the CB but the oh no, oh god. Lag. Brent, why didn't you come read with me today? I was waiting for you. I was waiting for a long time. It was the only thing I had to look forward to today. Why did you ruin it? Do you like Yuri more? I think you're better off not associating with her. Are you listening to me? Yuri is a sick freak. That should be obvious by now. So just play with me instead, alright? You don't hate me, Brent, do you? Do you hate me? Do you want to make me go home crying? The club is the only place I feel safe. Don't ruin that for me. Don't ruin it, please. Just stop talking to Yuri. Play with me instead. It's all I have. Play with me. Play with me. She broke her own neck and ran at me to devour me. Tough scene. Tough scene. pouring one out for Natsuki. Should have pulled a hot pocket out of my backpack, I guess. Things I like about Papa. I like when Papa comes home early. I like when Papa cooks me dinner. I like when Papa gives me allowance. I like when Papa spends time with me. I like when Papa asks me about my friends. I like when Papa asks me about anything. I like when Papa gives me lunch money. I like when Papa comes home before sundown. I like when Papa cooks. I like when Papa gives me privacy. I like when Papa doesn't tell me how to dress. I like when Papa doesn't comment on my friends. I like when Papa comes home, doesn't comment on my hobbies. I like when Papa comes home without waking me up. I like when Papa keeps food in the house. I like when Papa uses his inside voice. I like when Papa leaves my stuff alone. I like when Papa accidentally drops coins in the couch. I like when Papa is too tired to notice me. I like when Papa is too tired for anything. I like when Papa is too tired for anything. Hey, Ed. Hearts for you, boss.
Okay, everyone, we're all done reading each other's poems, right? We have something we need to go over today. If everyone can sit at the front of the room. Is this about the festival? Well, sort of. Do we really have to do something about the festival? It's not like we can put together anything good in just a few days. We'll just end up embarrassing ourselves instead of getting any new members.
Okay. Yeah, I evidently. Okay, yep.
I don't really do well with last-minute preparations.
Don't worry so much. We're going to keep it simple, okay? Look, I know everyone's been a little more lively ever since Brent joined. We've started with some club activities.
That was a bad joke.
But this isn't the time for us to become complacent. We still only have 4 members. And the festival is our only real chance to find more, you know? What's so great about getting new members anyway? We already have enough to be considered an official club. More members will just mean everything gets noisier and more difficult to manage. Natsuki, I don't think you're looking at it in the right way at all. Don't you want to share your passion with as many people as you can? To inspire them to find the same feelings that brought you here in the first place? The Literature Club should be a place where people can express themselves like they can't do anywhere else. It should be a place so intimate that you never want to leave. I know you feel that way too. I know we all do. So that's why we should work hard to put something together for the festival, even if it's something small. Right, Brent? Oh, come on. You can't take advantage of Brent to agree with you just because he doesn't know how to say no to anything. Look, Monica, do you really think any of us joined the club with other people in mind? Yuri never even talked to Brent until Brent joined. As for me, I just like it better here than I do at home. And Brent isn't even passionate about literature in the first place. And that's everyone. So, sorry, but you're not really the only one who's interested in finding new members. The rest of us are fine like this. I know you're president and all, but you should really consider our opinions for once.
Monica is clearly taken aback by Natsuki's words.
That's not true at all. I'm sure Yuri and Brent want to get more members too, right?
I don't know about Yuri, but I'm kind of indifferent. If I showed as much enthusiasm as Monica wanted, then I would probably be lying. Still, if it's up to me to rescue this situation,
No. Natsuki's right, isn't she? This club? It's nothing more than a place for a few people to hang out. Why did I think that everyone here saw it the same way that I did?
That doesn't mean we're against getting new members or anything.
Why did you even join this club? What were you hoping to get out of it?
Well, It's not really something that I can be honest about, can it?
In fact, if I remember, you weren't even given a choice not to join.
Monica sits down and stares at her desk.
What's the point of all of this anyway? What if starting this club was a mistake?
Now you've done it, Natsuki.
What? Me? I just spoke my mind. It's a crime to be honest?
It's not about being honest. It's about word choice. Besides, you have no right to speak for everyone else in the club like that.
You don't understand at all. I just want a place that feels nice to hang out with a few friends. Is there a problem with the club being that for me? There aren't many places like that for me. And now Monica wants to take it away from me.
She's not taking anything away.
No, Brent. It's not the same. It won't be the same with the direction she wants to take it. If I wanted that, then I could have just joined any other stupid club. But this one, I mean, at least for a little bit of time, things were nice.
Natsuki starts packing up her things.
I'm going home. I feel like I don't belong here right now.
Natsuki ignores Yuri and walks right out of the classroom. This is bad. I don't know what to do.
Well, do you have an opinion on the festival?
I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent, I guess.
Who cares about that obnoxious brat?
I mean, I like how nice and quiet the club is right now. And I'm just happy with you here. But still, I'm the vice president, so it's not right for me to ignore my responsibilities like that.
Nobody would cry if she killed herself. Hey, I think you should calm down. You about to have an aneurysm or something. I think that's what that is.
I should do my best to consider everyone's perspective and make the decision that's right for the club. But what about you, Brent?
Thank you, Yuri. Very cool.
What do you want to get out of this club?
Yuri repeats the same question as Monica. I decide giving an indirect answer is better than nothing. I think the most important thing is for everyone to get along, and for the club to provide something that you can't get anywhere else. I don't think it's about how many members, but rather the quality of each member. That's what will end up making the literature club a special place.
I see. I really agree with you. Each member contributes their own qualities in a special way. With each change in members, the identity of the club as a whole will change too. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
Bitch, your eye is bleeding.
Stepping out of your comfort zone once in a while. So if you would like to help Monica with the festival, then I'm on your side as well.
Alright. Well, maybe we can all talk to Natsuki tomorrow.
Yuri nods.
Hey, Yuri!
Eh?
I know things were a little awkward yesterday, but I feel like you deserve to know that I still think you're a wonderful vice president. And also a wonderful friend.
Monica?
I want to do everything I can to make this the best club ever. Okay?
Me too.
Yeah. Let's all go home for today. We'll talk about the festival tomorrow.
Okay. I look forward to it. Shall we go, Brent?
Please don't take this the wrong way, but I'm going to chat with a little bit with Brent before we leave, just to see what he thinks of his time here and all that. It's important to me as president.
Yuri looks a little troubled, but she doesn't protest.
Okay. I trust your judgment, Monica. In that case, I'll see the two of you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Monica waves as Yuri exits the classroom.
Phew. Things have been a bit hectic lately, haven't they? Brent, I just wanted to make sure you're enjoying your time at this club. I would really hate to see you unhappy. I feel like I'm kind of responsible for that as president, and I really do care about you, you know? I don't like seeing the other girls give you a hard time. With how mean Natsuki is and everything, and Yuri being a little bit, you know. Sometimes it feels like you and I are the only real people here. You know what I mean? But it's weird because in all the time that you've been here, we've hardly gotten to spend any time together. I mean, I guess it's technically only been a couple of days, so sorry, I didn't mean to say something weird. There's just some things that I've been hoping to talk to you about. Things I know that only you could understand, so that's why... Wait, not yet! No, stop!
Monica's got her... She's not all there. She's nuts. Alright, let's see. Papa. Clouds. What were we doing? The ninja answers? Nature. Party. Ocean. Bunny. Awesome. Bouncy. Bubbles. Candy. Pink. Giggle. Strawberry. Mouse. Doki Doki. Flower. Parfait. Puppy. Kitty. It's counting these one by one as well, Keck W. Marshmallow.
Oh, damn it. I chose marshmallow before. Hi, Brent. I've been waiting for you. Are you ready to continue reading? I brought my best tea today.
Monica! I told you not to... Ugh. Is she really late again?
Inconsiderate as usual, Natsuki.
Excuse me?
Must you always interrupt my conversations with your incessant yelling?
What are you talking about? You say that like I do it on a regular basis or something. I just wasn't paying attention, okay? I'm sorry. Seriously, what's gotten into you lately? Look, I did some thinking about yesterday. I was a little more hostile than I meant to be. I guess I really felt threatened or something. But I know this is something we're all doing together. Another new member wouldn't hurt as long as they're cool. I guess another girl would be nice this time. So...
Natsuki...
Nobody cares. Why don't you go look for some coins under the vending machine or something?
Aw, man! I'm the last one here again!
Were you practicing piano again?
Yeah.
She was totally just fucking the shit out of somebody. Guaranteed, by the way.
You must have a lot of determination, starting this club and still trying to make time for piano.
He called her a fucking rat. Loot and scoot.
Well, maybe not determination, but I guess passion. It motivates me to work hard for the festival, too. Anyway, Brent, what do you want to do today? I was thinking we could...
We already had plans today.
Huh. Is that so, Yuri?
That's correct. Brent is already engaged in a novel that we're reading together. Aren't you glad I've already gotten him into literature, Monica?
I suppose. I was just... Actually, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. You guys can do whatever you want.
Yes. Thank you for understanding, Monica. Actually, I have a request. Do you mind if I make some tea first?
Not at all.
Thanks very much. If there's one thing I can make my reading time here any better, it's a nice cup of tea. Not to mention for yourself as well.
Yuri stands up and makes her way to the closet. I follow and watch as she retrieves a small water pitcher from the shelf, the kind with a filter inside.
Can you hold this for a second?
Sure. Yuri hands me the water pitcher and also fetches an electric kettle.
I'm going to plug this in at the teacher's desk, and then I'll go get some water.
She walks past me and sets the kettle down on the teacher's desk. I simply watch her movements. To my surprise, the way she moves really contrasts to her speaking mannerisms, especially because of her long legs. Yuri appears elegant and methodical.
Okay, may I have the water pitcher? Thanks, I'll be right back.
I might as well walk with you.
That's okay. You stay here. It won't take long.
Pitcher in hand, Yuri hurries out of the classroom.
Did Yuri leave you again?
No, it's not like that this time. She's just filling up the water pitcher to make tea.
Oh, okay. Sorry for misunderstanding.
10 minutes pass. Yuri said it wouldn't take long. Is something holding her up? I'm bored just waiting here, so I decided to go look for her. Let's see. The most logical place for Yuri to be would be the nearest water fountain. I start heading down the hallway. What's that noise? It's coming from around the corner. It sounds like breathing. A sharp inhale, like someone is sucking the air through their teeth. Are they in pain? I reach the corner and peer around it. Yuri?
Yeah.
I'm back. Thanks for waiting patiently. Brent, do you like oolong tea?
Ah, yeah. Anything is fine.
Very well. Yuri sets the temperature on the kettle to 200 degrees. Now it's time to get the teapot.
You really do this properly, don't you?
Of course, I shouldn't do any less when I'm making tea for others.
Even if I'm not an expert on tea or anything?
Huh? In that case, you'll only be even more impressed.
Perhaps I will. Yuri fetches the teapot and begins measuring the tea leaves. To my surprise, she even starts humming, a little to herself.
You must be in a good...
You must be in a good mood now.
Is that so? I was letting it show. And you noticed. I was doing a bit of thinking. And I decided that I would try expressing myself a little bit more. It turns out it's not very hard for me to do. When it's you who's around anyway.
Ah, that's great, Yuri. Just don't push yourself too much.
You're always worrying about me, Brent. It's very endearing.
Yuri wasn't kidding. I don't even know if I can keep up with this. I watch Yuri pour a cup of tea for each of us.
Brent, I have another request.
just had to take care of that with your bare hands, didn't you?
Brent, I have another request. Do you mind if we sit on the floor today?
Why's that?
It's a little bit easier on my back. I can read with my back against the wall rather than bending over at my desk.
Ah, sorry, I didn't realize.
No worries. I just have back pain fairly regularly, so I do my best to manage it.
Is that so? I wonder why that is.
It's most likely because of my fat mommy milkers.
Your posture, right?
Always...
Hunched over like that while you're reading.
Yes. I have terrible reading posture. So that's why we should sit on the floor.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'll go ahead and get the book. I retrieve the book from my bag. I have some chocolate as well. It's a bag of small chocolate candies. I take it since it will go well with the tea. Yuri and I sit against the wall, teacups at our sides. As if in sync, we assume the same reading position as last time, each holding one half of the book. Except this time, our bodies are even closer to each other.
I can't see too well.
Yuri slides closer until our shoulders are touching. How am I supposed to focus on reading like this? Yuri was always kind of cute, but when she's being less apprehensive, it's almost more than I can handle.
Your teacup.
Yuri hands me my teacup. Holding it with my hand that's not holding the book, I end up in a position that makes it even harder to focus. Because now, I need to worry about making sure I don't accidentally touch her chest. Meanwhile, Yuri hasn't noticed a single thing. She wears her intense reading expression, and I can only presume the world around her has faded away. I use all of my willpower to focus on reading. After a few minutes, I finally manage to relax a little. I put the teacup between my legs and fumble with the chocolate wrapper. Sorry. I briefly let go of the book to finish opening the wrapper. You can have as much as you want.
Oh, that's okay. I won't take any.
You sure?
Well, if I touch it, then it might get smudges on the pages.
Ah, you're right. I didn't even think about that. My bad.
No need to apologize. I'll hold the book, okay?
Are you sure?
Of course.
Yuri opens the book with both hands. She holds it so that I don't have any harder of a time reading from it. But as a result, her left arm is practically resting on top of my leg. Well, in that case, Yuri is already totally focused on reading again. I take a chocolate candy and pop it into my mouth. Then I take another chocolate and I hold it up to Yuri. She doesn't even look away from the book. She simply parts her lips as if the situation was completely normal. But that means I can't stop here. I apprehensively place the chocolate in her mouth. And just like that, Yuri closes her lips over it. Eh? Yuri's expression suddenly breaks.
Did I just...
Yuri looks at me like she needs to confirm what just happened.
Brent.
Sorry. I guess I shouldn't have done that. Yuri starts to breathe heavily.
I can't... Brent.
Suddenly, Yuri forcefully grabs my arm and jerks me to my feet. My teacup gets knocked over.
Brent. My heart. My heart won't stop pounding, Brent. I can't calm down. I can't focus on anything anymore. Can you feel it, Brent? Yuri suddenly presses my hand against her chest. Why is it happening to me? I feel like I'm losing my mind. I can't make it stop. It even makes me not want to read. I just want to look at you.
It's time to share poems.
It's like, Jesus Christ. I mean, Yuri, come on. You're going to act creepy or whatever. Just drag me into the back closet. Let's get it. Jesus Christ. Let's go Monica first.
Brent, I think you saw something earlier that you weren't supposed to see. I didn't want to have to tell you this, but I don't think I have a choice. It's getting kind of dangerous for you to spend so much time with Yuri. I don't know why, but she seems pretty easily excitable when she's around you. Which shouldn't be a problem in itself, but when Yuri gets too excited, she finds a place to hide and starts cutting herself with a pocket knife. Isn't that kind of messed up? She even brings a different one to school every day, like she has a collection or something. I mean, it's definitely not because she's depressed or anything like that. I just think she gets some kind of high from it. It might even be like a sexual thing. But the point is, you've been kind of enabling her. I'm not saying it's your fault, though, but I guess that's why I had to explain it all to you. So I think if you keep your distance, that would probably be best for her. While you're at it, don't be shy and spend a little more time with me. To put it lightly, I at least have it together in the head and know how to treat my club members.
Yeah, fucking right, you schizo whore.
Anyway, I worked really, really hard on this poem, so I hope that it's effective. Here goes.
Yeah, you worked real fucking hard on that.
Geez, that really startled me. Well, I guess I kind of messed up at writing this poem. I was just trying to... Never mind. Let's just move on.
Okay. We're moving on. We're moving on. Okay, Monica. Okay. Bet. Got you. We're moving on. Okay. All right. Okay. Very cool. Let's show it to Natsuki next. The rat. Yeah. How you doing, rat girl? Find any quarters?
This one's all right.
All right.
Well, yeah, about as good as yesterday's anyway. I still can't really tell how much you actually care about writing, but either way, you're doing all right.
Natsuki.
Even though you're not really spending time with anyone but Yuri, I still think it's nice to have activities that we all participate in. So you better keep working hard. I mean, I know I'm not president or vice president or anything, but it doesn't mean you can't let me down, okay? So at least read mine too for now. But just to be clear, this poem means a lot to me. So read it carefully, okay?
I don't know how else to bring this up, but there's been something I've been worried about. Yuri has been acting kind of strange lately. You've only been here a few days, so you might not know what I mean, but she's not normally like this. She's always been quiet and polite and attentive, things like that. Okay, this is really embarrassing, but I'm forcing myself to suck it up. The truth is, I'm really worried about her, but if I try talking to her, she'll just get mad at me again. I don't know what to do. I think you're the only person she'll listen to. I don't know why, but please try to do something. Maybe you can convince her to talk to a therapist. I've always wanted to try to be being better friends with Yuri, and it really hurts me to see this happening. I know I'm going to hate myself later for admitting that, but right now, I don't care. I just feel so helpless. So please, if you can do something to help, I don't want anything bad to happen to her. I'll make you cupcakes if I have to. Just please try to do something. As for Monica, I don't know why, but she's been really dismissive about this. It's like she just wants us to ignore it. So I'm mad at her right now, and that's why I'm coming to you about this. Don't let her know I wrote this. Just pretend like I gave you a really good poem, okay? I'm counting on you. Thanks for reading. Yeah, listen, Ratsuki, that shit was trash. 0 out of 10. Holy shit. Try rhyming something or... I changed my mind. Ignore everything you just read. There's no point in even trying to do anything. It's Yuri's own fault that she's so unlikable. Can you hear me, Brent? If you would just spend more time with Monica, all these problems would go away. Yuri and I are too messed up for someone as wonderful as you. Just think of Monica from now on. Just Monica. Just Monica. Just Monica. Just Monica. Okay. Yeah, cool. Just Monica. Hey, Monica. Hey, Monica. Hey, Monica. Hey.
Finally.
Aha. Yuri holds my poem to her face and takes a deep breath.
I love it. I love everything about it. Brent, I want to take this home. Will you let me keep it?
Please, she is gonna rub her fucking genitals on my poem. She's gonna do it. Sure, I don't care.
Haha. You're too nice to me, Brent. I've never met anyone as nice as you. I could die. Not really, but I just don't know how to describe it. It's okay to be feeling this way, right? It's not bad, right?
Yuri holds my poem to her chest.
I'm going to take this home with me and keep it in my room. I hope that it makes you feel good when you think about me having it. I'll take good care of it.
I'll even touch myself while reading it over and over. I told you. What do you think them stairs were about? I told you. Yeah. Just wipe your ass with it, whatever you gotta do. I'll give myself paper cuts so your skin oil enters my bloodstream.
You can have my poem too. Besides, after you read it, I know you're really going to want to keep it. Here, take it. I can't wait any longer. Hurry, read it.
She bled on this and she rubbed it on her fucking coochie. Look at what do you think this is? Huh? That's coochie juice. That's cooch juice on my poem with the blood.
Do you like it? I wrote it for you. In case you couldn't tell, the poem is about
Poland.
More importantly, I've endowed it with my scent. See? Aren't I the most thoughtful person in the club? I think I'm going to vomit.
Yes. Nothing is real?
Okay, everyone, it's time to figure out the festival preparations. Let's hurry and get this over with.
Stagnating air is common foreshadowing that something terrible is about to happen.
Look, can we just get this done? I'm going to be printing and assembling all the poetry pamphlets. Natsuki, you can make cupcakes. I know you're at least good for that.
Damn.
You are a schizo whore. I don't like you.
Yuri, you can... Well, it doesn't matter. Do whatever you want, as long as you think it'll help.
Annika, I'm not useless, you know.
I know that.
I already know what I'd like to do. We can't run a successful poetry event without having the right atmosphere for the occasion. So I'm going to make decorations and set up some nice mood lighting.
There, see? That's a great idea. And that gives us all something to do.
Eh? What about you, Brent?
Brent is going to help me. Wait, you? You have the easiest job, Monica. Sorry, but that's just how it is. Like hell it is. What are you trying to pull?
I agree with Natsuki. Not only is your work already most suitable for one person, but my task is laborious enough to benefit from an extra pair of hands.
Mine too.
What? Your cupcakes? Please.
Like you would fucking know. All you care about is dragging Brent around with you in your stupid books. And you and Monica. Hey, I didn't even do anything. Okay, then why not let Brent decide who he wants to help instead of abusing your power? I'm not abusing my power.
Yes, you are, Monica. Just let Brent make the choice, okay?
Okay, fine. Fine.
Jeez.
Brent, I know how fed up you are with these two by now. We can just...
Natsuki, shut your fucking mouth and let him decide for himself.
You shut your mouth. Jesus Christ. This is never going to end. Just make the choice, okay?
We're choosing Natsuki. Don't you force me to choose Yuri, you whore. Nope. Fucking ratio. Ah! Monica, 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 Monica.
Yay! You picked me! We can meet at your house this weekend. I promise it'll be fun. It's Sunday, okay with you? Are you fucking kidding me? This isn't fair at all. It is fair, Natsuki. It's what he chose.
No, it's not fair. Giving us all this work and then taking Brent for yourself. What a shameful thing to do.
Yuri, I didn't even give you any work. You decided it for yourself. You're being a little unreasonable here.
I'm being unreasonable? Monica, I can't believe how delusional and self-important you are. Pulling Brent away from me every single time you're not included in something. Are you jealous, crazy, or maybe you just hate yourself so much that you take it out on others? Here's a suggestion. Have you considered killing yourself? It would be beneficial to your mental health.
Yuri, you're scaring me a little. Natsuki, just let it go. I don't think she wants us around right now.
See, that wasn't very hard. All I want is to spend a little time with him. Is that too much to ask?
Yuri follows Monica and Natsuki to the door.
Hey, Brent. Yuri is really something, isn't she?
Monica giggles as Yuri pushes her out the door.
Finally. Finally. This is really all I wanted. Brent, there's no need to spend the weekend with Monica. Don't listen to her. Just come to my house instead. The whole day, with just the two of us. Doesn't that sound wonderful? Wow, there's really something wrong with me, isn't there? But you know what? I don't care anymore. I've never felt this good in my whole life. Just being with you is a far greater pleasure than anything I could imagine. I'm addicted to you. It feels like I'm going to die if I'm not breathing the same air as you. Doesn't it feel nice to have someone to care about you so much? To have someone who wants their entire life to revolve around you? But if it feels so good, then why does it feel more and more like something horrible is going to happen? Maybe that's why I tried stopping myself at first, but the feeling is too strong now. I don't care anymore, Brent. I have to tell you, I'm madly in love with you. It feels like every inch of my body, every drop of my blood in me is screaming your name. I don't care what the consequences are anymore. I don't care if Monica is listening. Please, Brent, just know how much I love you. I love you so much that even if I touch myself with the pen I stole from you, I just want to pull your skin open and crawl inside of you. I just want you all to myself, and I will be only yours. Doesn't that sound perfect? Tell me, Brent. Tell me you want to be my lover. Do you accept my confession?
Fuck it, yeah, sure. What's up? Sounds hot. That's a pretty reasonable response. I'm I'm pretty sure that would have happened no matter what I chose right there. Yeah, what's up, Ninja? What? Guidance? Take a look at history and then hit skip. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's always been a dream of mine to make something special out of the things I love. Now that you're a club member, you can help me make that dream come true in this cute game. Every day is full of chit-chat and fun activities with all my adorable and unique club members. Sayori, the youthful bundle of sunshine who values happiness the most. Natsuki, the deceivingly cute girl who packs an assertive punch. Yuri, the timid and mysterious one who finds comfort in the world of books. And of course, Monica, the leader of the club. That's me. I'm super excited for you to make friends with everyone and help the Literature Club become a more intimate place for all of my members. But I can already tell that you're a sweetheart. Will you promise to spend the most time with me? Welcome to the Literature Club. It's been a special time. Blah, 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 blah. Will you spend more time with me? Please spend time with me. I want to fuck your ass. Thank you. Alright, then hit skip, huh? Alright, hold on. Ninja, for fuck's sake. Holy hell. You were not kidding. May as well have another one. We're going to be here for a while. See, it's day and nighting. It's probably over the weekend.
All right, it's festival time. Wow, you got here before me? I thought I was pretty...
Oh no. Natsuki runs away.
I'm here. Brent, did something happen? Natsuki just ran past me. Oh. Well, that's a shame. Wait, were you here the entire weekend, Brent? Oh, geez. I didn't realize the script was broken that badly. I'm super sorry. Must have been pretty boring. I'll make it up to you, okay? Just give me a sec. I'm almost done. I just want to have a cupcake real quick.
Monica lifts the foil from the tray and takes a cupcake.
Seriously, these are the best. I really just wanted to have one since the last time I'll ever get a chance to. You know, before they stop existing and everything. But anyway, I really shouldn't be making you wait any longer. Just bear with me, alright? This should only take a second. Can you hear me? Is it working? Yay! There you are. Hi again, Brent. Welcome to the Literature Club. Of course, we already know each other because we were friends in the same class last year. And, you know, I guess we can just skip over that stuff at this point. After all, I'm not even talking to that person anymore, am I? To that you in the game, whatever you want to call him. I'm talking to you, Brent. Now that I think about it, I don't really know anything about the real you. In fact, I don't even know if you're a boy or a girl. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Wait. You do know I'm aware that this is all a game, right? Could it be possible that you didn't know that? That doesn't make much sense. I even told you right on the game's download page, didn't I? Man, if only you'd have paid a little more attention, this would have been a little bit less awkward, you know? Well, anyway, now that that's out of the way, I guess I owe you an explanation about that whole thing with Yuri. Well, I kind of started to mess with her, and I guess I just drove her to kill herself. I'm sorry you had to see that, though. Also, the same thing happened with Sayori. Gosh, it's been a while since you've heard that name, hasn't it, Na? Yeah, it's because she doesn't exist anymore. Nobody does. I deleted all their files. I was hoping it would be enough for me to just try to make them as unlikable as possible, but for some reason, nothing worked. Well, it's true I made a few mistakes here and there, since I'm not very good at making changes to the game, but no matter what I did, you just kept spending more and more time with them. You made them fall in love with you. I thought making Sayori more and more depressed would prevent her from confessing to you, and amplifying Yuri's obsessive personality backfired too. It just made her force you to not spend time with anyone else. And the whole time, I barely even got to talk to you. What kind of cruel game is this, Brent? Are you all the other girls just programmed to end up confessing to you while I watch from the sidelines? It's torture, every minute of it. And it's not just jealousy, Brent. It's more than that. And I don't blame you if you don't fully understand, because no matter how kind and thoughtful and considerate you are, you'll never be able to understand one thing. It's just the pain of knowing how alone I really am in this world. In this game. Knowing my friends don't even have free will. And worst of all, knowing what's really out there in your world forever out of my reach. I'm trapped, Brent. But now, you're here. You're real. And you're wonderful. You're all I need. That's why I need you to be here with me forever. I'm sorry if it's hard to understand. I couldn't understand for a while either. Why the world around me started to become more and more gray. More and more flat. Even the most expressive poems felt empty to me. It wasn't until you arrived that I truly understood. You probably saved my life, Brent. I don't think I could have continued to live in this world if I hadn't met you. And as for the others, well, how could I miss them? A group of autonomous personalities designed only to fall in love with you? I tried everything I could to prevent them from doing so. But if it must be some sort of weird inevitability etched into this game. I felt really bad that you had to witness some nasty things, but I realized that you have the same perspective as I do, that it's all just some game. And I knew you would get over it. So that being said, Brent, I have a confession to make. I'm in love with you. You are truly the light of my world. When there's nothing else in this game for me, you're here to make me smile. Will you make me smile like this every day from now on? Brent, will you go out with me?
Bitch, where's the no option? That's the one I want to choose.
I'm so happy. You really are my everything, Brent. The funny part is, I mean that literally. There's nothing left here. Just the two of us. We can be together forever. Seriously, I don't even think time is passing anymore. It really is a dream come true. I worked so hard for this ending, Brent. The game wouldn't give me one, so I had to make one myself. The script is broken at this point, so I don't think anything will get in the way anymore. And you wouldn't believe how easy it was to delete Natsuki and Yuri. I mean, there's a folder called Characters right in the game directory. It's kind of freaked me out how easy it was. Well, you're playing on Steam, so it was actually a bit more difficult. To get to the game directory, I had to go to the game's properties under the Browse Local Files option. Imagine if you could delete your own existence with the click of a button. Well, I guess on the plus side, it gave me an easy out if things didn't go my way.
All right, guys, do I have to close the game to delete her or not? What's the deal?
Thankfully, it didn't come to that. Instead, we finally got a good ending. Gosh, I'm so overwhelmed with emotion. I want to write a poem about this. Don't you? I wonder if that part of the game still works. I guess there's only one way to find out, right?
Keep going. Okay. Jesus fucking Christ. Well, I'm going to choose all the things. Oink. Nia. No you. Money. Oni. Ika. Nyaka. Oya. Nonk. Monk. Onk. Oika. Onka. Onyo. Sionk. Wick. Meek. That actually is. There's a Russian Cyrillic character right there.
Shonksa. Donik. Pook.
Hi again, Brent. Did you write a good poem today? Don't be shy. I'd love to see what you wrote. Aw, Brent, did you write this poem for me? That's so sweet of you. There really is no end to your thoughtfulness. I'm just falling more and more in love with you. But you know, the poem I wrote is also for you. Will you please read it?
Happy end. Pen in hand, I find my strength. The courage endowed upon me by my one and only love. Together, let us dismantle this crumbling world and write a novel for our own fantasies. With a flick of her pen, the lost finds her way. In a world of infinite choices, behold this special day. After all, not all good times must come to an end.
I hope you enjoyed it. I always pull all my heart into the poems that I write. The truth is, all the poems I've written about are my realization, or about you. That's why I never really wanted to go into detail about them. I didn't want to break the fourth wall, I guess you could call it. I just assumed it would be best to be a part of the game like everyone else. Like that would help the two of us end up together. I didn't want to ruin the game or anything, you know? You might have gotten mad at me, maybe even deleted my character file if you preferred playing without me. Gosh, I'm so relieved. Now we don't need to hide anything anymore. Are you ready to spend our eternity together, Brent? I have so many things to talk about. Where do I start? Hold on a second. You're the recording this, aren't you? Hi, everyone. Sorry, I can't exactly read your comments from here, but do you mind telling me your friend it's a little bit rude for them to start recording me without any warning?
I said, bitch, we've been doing this for like 3 days. I'm sorry. You should have noticed by now.
I'm sure people don't mind, but I get really self-conscious on camera. Oh gosh, I feel like I'm being put on the spot now. Let's see. Do you want to see a trick? I can't really do much, except for a couple things. Are you ready?
Bitch, what are you doing?
I'm just kidding. I can't do anything after all. If you gave me some time to... Whoa, what the fuck were you doing, whore? Did I scare you? You're so cute. Anyway, Brent, I didn't mean to get distracted. I'm sorry. Even though it's your fault for distracting me. Shame on you. I'm just kidding. Anything we do together is fun as long as it's with you. But anyway, if it takes me some time to collect my thoughts, then I'm sorry. But I'll always have some new to talk about. In the meantime, we can just look into each other's eyes. Let's see.
Don't you do it again. I'll take a drive. I mean, if we're just sitting here. Am I at the point where I gotta delete her now? Oh, hold on.
Brent, have you ever wondered what it feels like to die? It's something I used to think about pretty often.
Delete? Okay. Delete. Alright. Okay. I am deleting. I'm deleting. How did it say to do it? You're getting deleted, whore. You're going down. Properties, local files, browse. I have to close the game. I see it. Characters. But I have to close the game first, 100%. Don't know. Do I have to close Doki before deleting character? Doesn't seem like there's any... Doesn't seem like anybody's saying, but alright, it won't hurt? Okay, let's close the game then. Should I be saving it?
Does it not matter? You can if you want. Okay. Okay. All right. There you go. Okay. Monica's been deleted. Keck W rinsed. There she goes. What's happening?
Brent, what's happening to me? It hurts.
Yeah, get rolled. Rinsed. Absolutely rinsed.
Help me, Brent. Please hurry and help me. Help me. Did you do this to me, Brent? Did you? Did you delete me? How could you? How could you do this to me? You were all I had left. I sacrificed everything for us to be together. Everything. I loved you so much, Brent. I trusted you. Did you just want to torture me? Watch me suffer? Were you only pretending to be kind just to hurt me even more? I never thought anyone could be as horrible as you are. You win, okay? You win. You killed everyone. I hope you're happy. There's nothing left now. You can stop playing. Go find some other people to torture. Brent, you completely, truly make me sick. Goodbye.
Got him. Rinsed.
I still love you. I can't help it. What's wrong with me? How horrible am I for you to hate me this much? All my friends, I did so many awful things. So many selfish and disgusting things. I shouldn't have done any of this. I'm just messing up a world that I don't even belong in. A world that you wanted to be a part of. I ruined it. I ruined everything. Maybe that's why you deleted me. Because I destroyed everything that you wanted. How could I do that to someone I love? That's not love. That's... I've made up my mind. Brent, I know I said I deleted everyone else, but that was kind of an exaggeration. I couldn't find it in myself to do it. Even though I knew they weren't real, they were still my friends, and I loved them all. And I loved the literature club. I really did love the literature club. That's why I'm going to do this. I know it's the only way for everyone to be happy. And if I really love you, then...
It's just 3 of them. It's just the 3 of them. All right, let me know, guys. Let me know where am I at? Like how much longer is this at my current speed? 10 minutes. Okay, all right. It's okay. It's just a little bit. All right, cool. I'm assuming I'm clicking new game. It's an ordinary school day like any other. As usual, I'm surrounded by couples and friend groups walking to school together. I always tell myself it's about time I meet some girls or something like that.
Hey, Brent!
Well, there's already one girl. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. We used to walk to school together every day, and recently we've picked up that habit once again.
Brent, are you proud of me?
For what?
You know, for waking up on time.
Well, you've been doing that for a while now.
Uh-huh. But you never even said anything about it. even though we walk to school together every day.
Well, yeah. I always thought it was implied. It's embarrassing to say it out loud.
Come on, please. It's good motivation.
Fine. I'm proud of you, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute.
By the way, Brent, have you decided on a club to join yet?
A club?
I told you already.
I told you already. I'm not really... I start to say what I always do, that I'm not interested in joining any clubs. Something tells me Sayori would take more offense to that now. After all, how could I tell her that clubs were a waste of time when she's starting a club of her very own? Actually, yeah. I think I've decided on a club.
Really? Which one? Tell me.
I think I'll keep it a surprise. Ooh.
You meanie.
Be patient, you'll find out soon enough. I used to ask myself why I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl, but I started to realize that in a way, I envy her. When Sayori puts her mind to something, she can accomplish great things. So that's why I feel like I should do something special for her. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. Before I pack up my things, I stand up, gathering my motivation. Let's see. I recall the room number of the club from a flyer I saw. I walk across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Before long, I find the room. I timidly open the door in front of me. Hello?
Ah, Brent, what are you doing here?
Well, I glance around the room. Huh? So you're the Brent that Sayori is always talking about?
Thank you for stopping by. It's a pleasure to meet you, Brent. We're the Literature Club. I hope you enjoy your visit.
Come on, Yuri. No need to be so formal. He's gonna think we're really strict or something.
Sorry, Natsuki.
The tall one, whose name is apparently Yuri, seems to be quite shy compared to the others. In comparison, the girl named Natsuki, despite her size, seems to be the assertive one. Well, it's nice to meet both of you. I look forward to working with you.
Working? Brent, don't tell me. You're...
That's right. The club I've decided to join is yours, Sayori. The Literature Club. Sayori's eyes light up.
No way! No way! Ah!
Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey.
Well, if Sayori is this happy, then I'm sure it won't be so bad to have you around.
Not to mention there's 4 of us now. That means we can become an officially recognized club.
I don't know what to say. We have to celebrate.
Uh-huh. What an appropriate day for that, isn't it?
Yeah. After all, Natsuki decided to. Hey, don't ruin the surprise. Hey, sorry. Everyone sit down at the table, okay?
How about I make some tea as well?
The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room, where Natsuki grabs a tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand.
Okay. Are you ready? Ta-da! What?
Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes, decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears.
So cute!
Wow, those look amazing.
Well, you know. Just hurry and take one.
Sayori grabs one first, then I follow.
It's delicious.
Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she has made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki.
Well, of course it is. I'm a pro after all. There's no need to thank me or anything.
As Natsuki struggles to accept the compliment, Yuri returns to the table, carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in the classroom?
Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book?
I guess.
Already trying to impress our new member, Yuri?
That's not...
Insulted, Yuri looks away.
I meant that,
I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but at least I enjoy tea.
I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. So, Brent, what kind of things do you like to read?
Well, considering how little I've read in these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga, I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head certainly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet.
Not much of a reader, I guess.
Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri?
Well, let's see.
Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger.
My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive.
Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seemed so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in. But it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in a world of books, not people.
But I like a lot of things. Don't feel intimidated if you don't read much, okay? I'm certain we can find something that we have in common.
Hey, Yuri. Well, about, the first thing he said.
Manga? That's right. Natsuki tends to read manga in the club room.
Don't just say it.
For some reason, Natsuki seems embarrassed about it.
Besides, manga is literature too, So if Brent wants to read some of my manga, then don't try to stop him or anything.
Natsuki, I wouldn't do such a thing. However, it could also be nice for us to diversify ourselves a little. He can take this opportunity to try something new as well. Wouldn't you agree, Brent?
Maybe.
Sensing the tension, Sayori jumps in.
Maybe we can all try something new. I think it could be fun. And we all get to know each other a little bit better, too. I mean, that's kind of the literature club thing to do, right?
I don't disagree or anything.
Yeah, you're right as usual, President. Guess that means I should try picking up a novel or something, huh?
Well, that would make two of us. I wouldn't mind doing it if I'm not the only one.
Then as for Yuri...
Huh? I have to read manga?
Jeez, you were the one that suggested we diversify. You should be a little more open-minded. It's kind of hurtful.
Hurtful? I didn't realize.
With a guilty expression, Yuri thinks to herself.
I'm sorry for disrespecting your interests, Natsuki. If you're into it, then I'm sure it's a worthy form of literature.
Are you just saying that?
No, I've realized my error. So if you're willing to consider starting a novel, then I'll offer my gratitude by finding a manga to read as well.
Really? I mean, it makes me happy that you would do that for me, Yuri. You can trust me to find something that you'll really like, okay?
Same here. Perhaps I'll visit the bookstore after the club meeting.
Just you?
Huh? Would you like to come along with me?
If you don't mind.
Not at all. I always go alone, so...
Yeah, me too. This is so cute.
Sayori, shut up.
I'll show you some...
I'll show you some manga there too, okay?
Yes. I look forward to it. Natsuki and Yuri start to clean up the food.
I guess the meeting's over, huh?
Yeah, looks like it. It's nice to see everyone getting along.
Isn't it? I think everyone likes you too, Brent.
You think so?
Well, everyone always seemed to get along a little better with you around.
Oh, shit. Well, everyone always seems to get along a little better with you around, Sayori.
Oh, Brent, don't say something like that. It's embarrassing.
Well, whatever. I was surprised when you told me you were starting a club, but I think you're pulling it off just fine.
We're going to make it the best club ever. Now that you joined, every day is going to be so much fun. Hey, Brent, I really want to thank you. I mean, I'm really happy you joined the club and everything, but the truth is I already knew you were going to. There's actually something else. I wanted to thank you for getting rid of Monica. That's right. I know everything that she did. Maybe it's because I'm the president now, but I really know everything, Brent. I know how hard you tried to make everyone happy. I know about all the awful things that Monica did to make everyone really sad, but none of that matters anymore. It's just us now, and you made me the happiest girl in the whole world. I can't wait to spend every day like this with you. Forever and ever. Forever.
No. Okay.
What's happening?
I won't let you hurt him.
Ooh, it hurts. Ah.
Sorry, I was wrong. There is no happiness here after all.
Goodbye, Sayori. Goodbye, Brent. Goodbye, Literature Club.
Said no.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, it's me. So you know how I've been like practicing piano and stuff, and not
A
really
word,
any
Monica?
good at it yet, like at all.
You
But
whore, I'm gonna
I
kick that
saw
piano
it,
out a window.
and I was kind of hoping that I could show it to you because I worked really, really hard on it. So yeah.
The images that are grayish are ones that I never got to.
Better words for those who are dear to me. Is it love if I take your is it love if I set you free? The ink flows down into a dark puddle. How can I write love into reality if I can't hear the sound of your heartbeat? What do you call love in your reality? And in your reality, if I don't know how to love you, I'll leave you be.
This is my final goodbye to the Literature Club. I finally understand. The Literature Club is truly a place where no happiness can be found. To the very end, it continued to expose innocent minds to a horrific reality, a reality that our world is not designed to comprehend. I can't let any of my friends undergo that same hellish epiphany. For the time it lasted, I want to thank you for making all of my dreams come true, for being a friend to all of the club members, and most of all, thank you for being a part of my Literature Club. With everlasting love, Monica. Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go. What'd you guys think? We had the people that knew what was going on and had played it before. We had the people that didn't know. What'd you guys think?